if you just have the right mindset, anyone can do it. Training is easy. You just have to get in and stay in and just keep swimming. But it's about your mind, because your mind is the hardest challenge that you're going to overcome. I remember it was just one small sentence that my parents said, "Do you want to swim the channel?" And I was like, sure, why not? And it's like crazy to think just that one sentence changed my entire life. Oh, by the way, you're going to be drug tested. And I thought, we all thought it was a joke, but then there was a guy from the Channel Swimming Association standing outside, and he was like,
Hi, and welcome to Indian Explorers. In this podcast, we talk about Indian success stories. I am Sabrina, and together with my co-host Amit, we will get to understand the journey of our guests and what drives them. Their optimism, patience, idealism, and courage, these are their attributes which we hope to bring to life in our conversations with them. So if you enjoy the show, please hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Today we have someone truly remarkable, Prisha Tapre, a 16-year-old British Indian teenager from Watford, Hertfordshire. I hope I said that correctly. She became one of the youngest swimmers to swim the English Channel on September 4th of this year. She covered the treacherous 21-mile stretch from Dover to Cap Gris-Nez, France, in a time of 11 hours and 48 minutes. Prisha says she was driven by her desire to break boundaries and to raise money for a special charity. So congratulations.
Thank
What
you.
an amazing thing you've conquered. What a beautiful story. It's so nice to meet you, to have you here. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Prisha, I think you're the youngest Indian explorer guest we've had. Is that right, Sabrina?
Yes, she is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think let's start at the beginning. First of all, you are 3 times younger to me. Like, you are 16, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm 48. So, I feel like I'm talking to a daughter here. So I'm going to be careful the way I speak. I want to get to know you, because when I heard your story, I immediately thought about my children, and forget 11. They can't even sleep for 11 hours, 48 minutes. They can't do anything for that long. And I want to understand the mental, is this something you're born with? Or what drives a young lady like yourself to want to do this challenge? So let's start there.
I didn't always, I always think it's mental first rather than physical. And I remember the first few times I went round the lake, I used to be happy with just doing a half a lap and then coming out. But then as I started to grow, as my connection towards the lake started to grow and my love for the sport started to grow, my mentally I improved. So then I started feeling guilty if I ever did half a lap, and I started to make sure I finished anything that I completed. So when I started open water, it really changed me, because after that I've never gotten out of a swim early. I've always managed and told myself that if you get in, you're not going to get out unless you're ready to. So that definitely inspired, that definitely helped me go with this challenge. But I think 4 years of training for it definitely was enough training. And I was telling some people in my swimming, I was like, I think anyone can do it if you just have the right mindset. Anyone can do it, because training is easy. You just have to get in and stay in and just keep swimming. But it's about your mind, because your mind is the hardest challenge that you're going to overcome. I always say, you're your biggest enemy. You're the only person standing between you and your dream. So that's what I always say to myself if I'm ever struggling.
I'm sure you've heard this, but you are wiser than most adults I know. To hear that. And you are so right. I'd like to know where the idea came from. How did this all begin?
Yeah. When did you get into the pool? When did you know swimming was your thing?
Well, I started swimming. The first time I started swimming was the toddlers and tots. the thing, like when you're a little baby. So that was the first time I started swimming with my mum, and I haven't stopped since then. So obviously when you're little you start like all the sports, like I used to do taekwondo, karate, all these random sports, but then I think as you grow up you always slim it down to one sport that you always love, and for me that was swimming. So I've been swimming ever since I can remember, and I did stages just like everyone else, but instead of quitting like after you complete the stages, I decided to go on to club swimming. So club swimming is basically just like swimming for competitions, counties, regionals, nationals, but I wasn't always the most competitive person in the pool, and I watched all of my friends like take it more seriously than I did. So I found it a bit unmotivating because I used swimming as more of a social sport rather than competitive. But then I remember coming home, like all my friends used to get medals and I was feeling a bit disheartened. So then me and my parents sat down for a meeting and we were like, okay, what can we do? Like we wanted to come up with ideas for things we could do incorporated around swimming. So then we were having like a nice family dinner, and then my dad comes up with this idea, hey, what about the channel? So this is during lockdown. So obviously we had a lot of time on our hands. So then I remember my tabs on my little laptop being filled up with how many sharks are in the English Channel? Can you die from swimming the English Channel? And if I like go back to my history, it was all about sharks. And after that, I kept getting advertisements for sharks. And I just remember, I still remember that day where we were just talking about it around the table while eating, just thinking about what if I did do the channel. And I remember it was just one small sentence that my parents said, do you want to swim the channel? And I was like, sure, why not? And it's like crazy to think that if I didn't say sure, why not, my life, like just that one sentence changed my entire life. Because it's just,
and
it's
your dad
scary.
he was completely sincere when he said that.
Pardon?
And joking. Your dad wasn't joking with you.
No, he wasn't joking. He researched open water. But I got into open water with the mindset that I'm going to be swimming the channel. But
I love it. Your friend, your other swim teammates won medals. You're like, take this. I just swam the channel.
I'm still not understanding something. Yeah. I mean, you say you've been doing this for 4 years. So you are 12 years old. You're swimming for fun or for social, right? I remember, I mean, I don't remember what I was doing at 12, 13, 14. I think I was doing maths. But I'm not understanding the drive for a teenager of 13, 14 to accomplish what you've done. Because I'm trying to figure out how you're built. I mean, is this your parents, the way they train the Eastern European and Chinese gymnasts, where they have them 5 hours a day stretching and with like literally punishment if they don't do this? Like, you know how American moms are now teaching their kids their spelling bee and like memorizing the Encyclopedia Britannica. Like, how much of this was your parents saying you've got to do this to be successful, and how much of it was self-driven? And if it was self-driven, I'm trying to understand your brain, because I'm not able to understand how somebody your age can have that mindset. I don't have it. I'm 48. So I need to learn that. I need to take that from you and share it with my kids. So that's what I'm trying to figure out today.
Well, I remember I was 12 and we were going down to the first session at the lake, and I was really scared because as a 12-year-old going into a lake, I had no friends. I just knew some older people from my club, which is really intimidating. I remember being in tears the entire, like before getting into the car, I was in tears because I did not want to go. But I think that was probably the only time my parents pushed me to go, because my dad like forced me. He honestly almost pushed me into the lake, and that has happened a few times. But after that moment, like after I actually got into the lake, I realized like it's not as bad. It's not really that bad. So then after that, I was always dedicated to myself. Like I tried not to get to the point that I like where I made my parents force me to do it, because I feel like if you really want to do something, you have to want to do it, not like it can't be someone else's dream. It has to be your dream. And I feel like unless you're doing it for yourself, it's never going to work out properly. Like, you have to have that drive and passion, but for yourself. And since I got into that lake, the dream became mine. And like, I think if you really want something, that's where it comes from. Like, even though I was 12, 13, the lake was, for me, the lake was my Netflix. It was like my, I don't know what, like, 12 to 13-year-olds like. It was like my Fortnite, I guess. But it was pardon?
Can I guess something? Can I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I'm guessing your mom and dad either don't know how to swim or learn to swim after 35, 40.
No, they don't know how to swim. At least not very well. I used to force my but yeah, they can survive. They can survive. Let's keep it
So
at
if
that.
you are drowning, they will jump and come get you.
I think they'll have to.
Got it.
I'd like to talk about
The date?
the training for this.
Oh,
the
the
training for this. Yeah.
Before we talk. Yeah.
How I mean, were there days that they were just so brutal that you're like, I don't know if I want to do this? Or, you know, how did you overcome those obstacles?
So, if you know me well, I hate mornings. I hate mornings. I only started getting up to my alarm like recently. I cannot stand waking up in the mornings. And if you're a competitive athlete or swimmer, you always have to wake up. Like, before school, you have 5 a.m. training.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, this was not for me. This is like my number one nightmare was waking up in the morning. So that was definitely the most brutal part. And I used to have nightmares about going, because a few of my training times, like, my coach used to make me we went down to the lake when it was pitch black. Like, the sun was going to come up in like an hour or two. So it was the coldest part of the night, and the sky was dark, and the lake was pitch black. So me having to wait, like, get in bed, drive there, stand in the freezing cold, like, looking down at the lake, convincing myself to get in when it's like pitch black, like, it was definitely like a tough moment. But it's happened, like, it was my team. Like, my coach, he put balloons on his kayak. He put like fun disco lights on his head, and like, I had lights on my swimming costume, so he definitely made it more fun. And about my training, so I've obviously been training for 4 years, and I remember my first time I did a 1K, and that first year in 2020, I think the longest distance was a 3K I did, which I thought was amazing, and it is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But then my times were 25 minutes for 1 kilometer, and now I've cut it down to 15. So in 4 years, I've lost 10 minutes of 1 kilometer, which is like, I think that's pretty amazing. Year 2 was like 2021, so I was 13 years old was when I started entering big competitions. So I'm not sure if you've ever been to the Lake District, but there's loads of like really, really long lakes in England. So there's Lake Windermere, it's around 17 kilometres. Then there's Lake Ullswater, which is 12 kilometres. So at the age of 13, I took part in Windermere. So I did I think it's 17 kilometres. I did that. And I also did the Champion of Champions events, which was the first time I ever swum in the sea. This is where it's like a course in the Dover Harbour where you do 10 laps, get out, which is really hard because you get out of the cold water, warm up, then you have like a 20-minute break, then have to get back in. So you do 10 laps, 5 laps, and then 2 laps. So altogether, it's around 17 kilometres. And then year 3 was the toughest year because I did Ullswater 2-way. So that took me 7 hours because it was 24 kilometres. And we also did the relay, the channel relay, as like I like to think of it as like a little channel warm up. But it was really fun because think of like, it's like a party on the boat because like my best friends and like the closest people in the whole world were on that boat, and we were all getting it, like doing it together. And what people don't know about the difference between a team event and a solo event is that in a team event, you're all going through the same pain, and it makes it quite fun. But whereas if I'm doing a solo swim and I see everyone on the boat just having a good time, it's like I'm missing out. But I think it's a big challenge like mentally, seeing everyone on the boat being happy and warm, but you're just in the water. So it's quite a struggle. But coming back to the 2024, so the year of my channel swim, I did a lot of training. I remember my coach was explaining my course, and he said numerous 6-hour swims, and I never done like I did a 7-hour swim, but I'd like a 6-hour swim. Yeah, a 6-hour swim, like many was to me was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? But I did like 3 6-hour swims. I did a back-to-back swim so these were all in the sea. So a back-to-back swim on Saturday you did 7 hours, then you go to sleep, and on Sunday you come back and do 6 hours. And then I did a 10-hour swim a few weeks before my channel. That was probably my last big swim. So that was definitely like the best swim I've done, because it gave me the confidence that I could actually do it.
Right. Then after that, you have about an hour or almost 2 hours left in the real swim, right? It took
Yeah. I had like basically 2 hours.
You don't like waking up early, but you started the swim, I read, at 2:10 a.m.
Yeah.
But on that day, your adrenaline must have been through the roof.
You know what? The start of it was so scary because all the roads around the place where we had to go were shut. So we were supposed to start, I think, 2, but we spent like half an hour driving around because all the roads were shut. And we had like a massive box, so we couldn't even walk there. So I was getting all stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, is my swim going to be cancelled? But, and the thing is, it was pitch black and it was like wavy. So it was like 2 not ideal weather conditions. But it was like, I think, adrenaline. Because like after my swim, like you're obviously going to be tired. But I didn't get like, I felt like I could still keep going until I actually hit my bed back home. That's when it went crashing down.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I can see now why Michael Phelps and all those big swimmers retire so quick, because it's the training, the eating, the mental is so tough versus other sports that,
I think it's more, the saying, it's about the journey, not the destination. I think that really applies. When I look back at the 4 years, I miss it. I honestly, like, all the people I met and I learned so much about myself. I honestly would do the 4 years of training again. It was so worth it. It was literally more enjoyable than my actual swim.
What's next? Are you now aiming for, I don't know, I've not heard of an Olympic event like that. So
there's an Olympic 10K event.
There's
the Olympic 10K event it's an open water event, and then there's like a triathlon.
Is that the aim? Is that what you're working for, or
there are many aims right now. Like there are loads of big swims that I want to do, like a 2-way channel. The 10K Olympics is definitely on the dream board, but it's gonna take like a lot of grit and training, which I like. I enjoy it. But
British passport, you'd be a UK.
Yeah.
Would you represent UK or India at the Olympics?
Yeah, UK. The UK.
Okay.
Yeah. With your hard work and your mindset, it's attainable. I mean, I was looking at statistics of how many people have swam the channel. And you might know these numbers better. I think these are accurate. There have been a total of 4,133 channel swimmers, with 1,881 swimmers completing the solo swim.
What age?
Oh, all ages. And the first person to do it was 1875. And I believe you are the most recent one.
How many women have completed this?
Quite a few, actually.
Well, like hundreds?
Out of that? Oh, yeah. I think it was, I don't have the exact. Okay. Oh, here we go. 63% of swimmers have been male, 37% have been female.
Prisha, I wanted to ask you about your coach. I think Jeremy is his name. Is he been the same coach for the last 4 years? And did you or your parents approach him, or he spotted you in the lake one day and said, this is the kind of girl I want to get on my team? How does that work, relationship?
So Jeremy worked for my club, the club I was swimming at, and my current coach, called Josie, She was also like, she loved open water. So my parents and myself, we approached her, and then she directed us to Jeremy, who was also a coach at the time. And then Jeremy is like the head of open water. So then he was the one who took us down to the lake, and he was the one who did the circuit with me. But he's been there he was there at the lake from day one, and he's never missed a session. Like if I went down to the lake, he's gonna be there. Yeah,
he swam the channel.
Yeah, I think when he was 46. I think your age. That's
Wow.
a hint. Maybe you should start training for it.
Yeah,
I love it, Prisha.
Not happening. And what was
our last guest tried to get him to run a marathon. So now he's been challenged to run a marathon and swim the channel.
There's actually a triathlon where part of the triathlon is to swim the channel. That's just one part of it. It was crazy.
What was his time frame? What was Jeremy's time?
I think 16 hours. 15. It was 15 hours, I think. 15 hours.
15 hours at 46. Yeah. And you did it at under 12 hours at 16.
Yeah, but his weather conditions weren't great.
That's an excuse, is it?
Is there a point in the ocean that you were being drifted away?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Tell us about the swim.
I want to know, how did one urinate in those 12 hours?
That's a good question. You can also poo in the channel. I got sent over a list of rules, and on the rules it was, if you want to poo, tell us. We'll give you some privacy, but they have to write it down on like a special thing. But you literally just poo there. Like you can't get off. You just poo in the channel. And I was thinking, imagine a swimmer went and you accidentally swim into poo.
Yeah, and so you have to tell them that you're pooing, so that you're shitting, so that they pause the time.
Yeah. No, they don't pause the time. It keeps going.
Oh.
The time keeps going, and you're you're urinating and pooing and swimming, or you stop?
Oh no, I stopped. Probably like a bit of breaststroke. And also, I have to tell them every time I pee, because it's like safety. So if I ever peed, I'd be like, I peed.
Okay. So they know that you.
Yeah, because I've taken so much fluid, so then it can't. It's like all trapped in there. So they were like, people on the boat. They were tallying how many times I've peed.
Honestly, the day things we track nowadays, Sabrina.
I mean, they have to. It makes sense, right?
Why does it matter how many times you pee?
Because she's active for almost 12 hours.
So is it a health thing for her?
You're taking in all that fluid. It's healthier for her, yes.
It's because we're taking in the energy drinks. So then it can't, we have to be, it's not safe to not get it out. But
do you do a drug test as well? Are you meant to do a drug test before or after?
No. So the drug tests are random, but then we did not expect it. So on the way back, the pilot told us, "Oh, by the way, you're going to be drug tested." And I thought, we all thought it was a joke. But then there was a guy from the Channel Swimming Association standing outside, and he was like, "Oh, I have to drug test you." And we all thought it was a joke, but he actually took me to his car. I had to give him a drug test. They tested for alcohol, drugs, and I'm not sure what else,
Is it blood, saliva, or urine?
No. It's saliva. Saliva.
I
have this picture. No.
Okay.
I have this picture from after my swim with my tongue all salty. I had no saliva left in my mouth.
And that's because of what? Because you got a certificate?
After the race.
Because of the salt. Pardon?
This was after the race.
Yeah, after the swim.
It's because they give a certificate, right? So to confirm that you crossed the channel in a legal manner, they give you a certificate.
But it was randomized. Not everyone gets drug tested. It's just random.
But you did it alone, or you did it with other people?
What, the drug test?
No. The night you crossed the channel.
No, I did it by myself.
You did it by yourself.
Yeah, I saw a video where a friend of yours jumps in and swims with you for a little bit to give you that support. That is amazing. Tell us about that.
So you're allowed to have, I think, a swimmer in with you for the max of an hour. I think every 3 hours. I'm not sure exactly. But so my friends Philippe, Megan, Paul, and Jeremy, they're all amazing swimmers. They both the two children, they did the relay with me last year. And there's this thing called the separation zone, and I had to be there within 6 hours, otherwise I'd be drifted. and I was slowing down. So then they put Philippe in with me because I get really competitive if it's with him because he's always so close to beating me. So they put him in so that I go a bit faster, and it worked because if he didn't get in, I wouldn't have like pushed myself past the separation zone, and I could have added like 3 hours onto my swim, but to like during the swim, the first 2 hours it wasn't choppy, but there were like massive waves, so I'd be carried up. But then after the first 2 hours, that's always the worst. Like I just got my head around the fact, okay, you're gonna be here, and I think I said, "Oh, I can see France in the pitch black." So I don't know what was going through my head, but there's this place called the Central Reservation Zone. That's where all the garbage picks up. Like it's the bit in the middle between England and France where all the rubbish goes together. And I think I swam into this bit of like a polystyrene. It was just a stick, and I just swam into it. And then like you can tell when you're gonna get close to the French side because the water, it just warms up, and you just suddenly see like a bunch of jellyfish, like because all the jellyfish tend to go to the French side.
You got stung by jellyfish?
Yeah. Every time someone asks me that, I show them this tiny scar.
Let's see. Oh wow!
It's
how do you keep swimming through that pain? Just mental.
It's the ones in the English Channel aren't really that painful.
Okay.
They're more like a nettle sting, but I'd never got stung before, so it was quite scary to get stung. But after swimming for that long duration of time, it was a different feeling. It was quite refreshing. Like it's something to remind you you're alive, because you're just like a robot going on and on and on. So any different feeling is like, oh, that's nice.
So jellyfish helped.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Are there any dangerous animals in that channel?
Shark?
There are sharks, but I don't think they come to the surface. I met this lady last year, and I think she said there was a swordfish. So she was swimming in the pitch black, and it was really wavy, so the boat had to go in front of her, and she couldn't see it. And then the boat was circling her from afar, and it turns out, so she had to get pulled out because it was the weather conditions. It turns out that under her, like jumping right beside her, was a massive swordfish, and if it can like impale you. Yeah. But I didn't like she told me that story, and I was glad I didn't see any. During the relay swim, we saw eels. We also saw tuna and seals, but that's pretty much all we saw.
What is if you just pick the most memorable moment of the swim, what was it?
It was definitely seeing the boat. So we had like this tiny dinghy boat attached to the side of the boat, and when they took it out, it meant you're close to France. And I was like, when I looked back and saw that they were like taking it out again, my heart dropped, because the fact, like, I watched it come out to take me back to start my swim, and I watched them put it back on. So like I was picturing them taking it off, and the fact I got to see that, it's like I've been picturing it for 4 years. So I'm not sure if like that was like a sign my dream came true, because wow. It's like you're 100 meters away from France, and I was like, okay, there's nothing stopping me.
You saying this. Amazing. And then when you you get to the end and you're climbing the rock, correct?
Yeah, they're like these massive rocks, and to actually qualify as you've swum the channel, you have to clear the water, so you have to get your body out of the water. But the rocks are so big, and the tide. So I was trying to grab onto the rocks, but then I was just being pulled back because the tide was so strong. But like every channel swimmer almost gets like cut on these rocks because they're so sharp. But I didn't. But I kind of wanted one to show off a scar, but it was like they were really big rocks, and I was trying to like fish for some pebbles that I could take home, but I didn't find any.
Wow.
Are you, other than a good swimmer, are you like good at studies? Are you like a good kid? Do you have a brother or sister? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself personally.
So I did my GCSEs while the same year that I was doing my channel swim. I did it like 2 or 3 months before, and I managed to get like above my predicted grades for most of those things. I've got an older brother. He's 20 now, and he's in university. But I want to
You can show off
I
over
want to
here. You
go.
can tell us how many A stars and A's you got. Don't worry about it.
Um, I got like I'm doing biology, psychology, politics, and RA. I got a 7 in biology, which is like it's an
Oh,
A.
it's IB. IB, is it? Are you doing GCSEs and A levels or
GCS.
IB?
Oh, I'm doing A levels now.
You're doing A levels now, and your GCSEs. How many did you do?
9.
9. Okay.
No,
Okay.
yeah, 9. Yeah.
Okay. And what A levels did you decide to do?
Biology, psychology, and PE. But then I dropped PE because it was horrible, and then I took politics. But alongside this, I've done grade 8 drama. Then I've done like Indian classical singing and piano. But
And what do your
Okay.
parents and your brother think about your achievement? Are they like all
I
day
think
talking about it? My daughter's done this. Like, most people are like, oh, my daughter got married to a rich family, or my daughter got her A's, or she's a doctor or a scientist. Are your parents all day saying my daughter's the best swimmer in our community, or what are
yeah,
they saying?
you should. They have like the entrance of my door. My mom was so sweet. She hung up this massive like poster, and she got everyone to sign it. And now, anytime someone comes to our house, she has this little corner where she has all certificates on the wall to corridor, and then in the hall, she's got like this little area. It's got newspapers, trophies, and like magazine covers that I've been in. And anytime some guests come over, she's like, "Oh, here, have a look." So she hands out each newspaper to every person.
So
And
That
me
is
and
like
my brother,
it's next to Ganesh. It's next to all the deities.
and then me and my brother just sit next to each other, like passing glances, like, when is this gonna be over?
It's
Is
not. She's a proud mom.
your
She's
brother
gonna do it forever.
is your brother in the same school as you?
He's in university now.
Oh, okay,
But,
got it. Yeah, so he doesn't have to have the pressure. Oh, your Prisha's brother all day long.
no, he left me. He decided he left me. He left me here.
Where did he go? Where's he gone to study?
He's gone to the University of Kiel, but he's taken a gap year now. It's like a sandwich year.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Prisha, when I introduced you, I said that there were 2 reasons you did this swim. One was breaking barriers, and the second was a charity. Tell us about both of those.
So my charity is Akshaya Patra UK. So that was a charity that helped kids in both India and the UK get an education and get food as well. So what really like inspired me about this charity was the fact it encouraged kids, especially in India, to go to school, because I think you have to pay for school in India, or in some schools you have to pay. And the thing is that some people, like girls, they don't get education, but the fact that Akshaya Patra was providing free school meals in school, which just it made the kids want to go to school. Just just for the food, but at the same time they were like getting an education. So that's what like really like I can't believe like that's a really smart thing to do, because you're giving kids education and food, and like a way to. I just thought it was a really good
They
thing.
go for the food, and the education is the byproduct.
I know, yeah. It's 2 really good things. And in England, like they have this thing called after school meals. So if kids maybe don't have the blessing to have like a really full meal after school at home, then they can stay in school and just do homework while eating like food provided by Akshaya Patra, which I thought was really, really good.
Wonderful. And when you talk about breaking barriers, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, I think anywhere you go, if you go to any country, there's going to be different people from different parts of the world, and I feel like there are some things that like ethnic girls just haven't like been introduced to, or like they're not comfortable. Like for swimming, I feel like swimming might not be a comfortable sport to some girls, maybe because of the clothes you wear, or it's not maybe accepted for your religion or family, or maybe stereotypes, like boys play cricket, girls
Girls don't.
they dance. Yeah. But I feel like I like by doing this, I want to prove that just like you shouldn't let the fact that you're a different color or that you're from a different place stop you from doing anything, because by doing that you're just going to inspire other people, like other girls and other ethnic girls, to go into what you're doing. And like I'm not gonna say it was hard, because it, like, you just have to put yourself there, because in my swimming club or in competitions I don't see a lot of ethnic girls. Like it's like there's not a lot of ethnic girls, but by being one of those few people, I hope, like, when I see a little like Indian girl who's 12 starting swimming, I'd hope to inspire her to stay on. And I would like the like last thing I'd want for anyone is to feel uncomfortable just because there aren't people who look the same as them and quit. Like that, I can't explain how that feels, because some people just, like, they will never understand. But I feel like I just never want anyone to feel like that, and like never want anyone to give up on something just because of how they look.
Yeah, absolutely. And also being a girl, right? That's
Yeah.
another barrier. I was just at lunch with family and I told them I had to leave early because I was doing a podcast, and I told them about you. And my dad said he had heard about you recently. So your face is already, I mean, you're already out there and people know about you, and it's a good thing, because I could tell my daughter, who's 11 now, like, look, she was 12 when she decided this and she looks like you know? So very
Okay.
cool.
Did you guys see the movie The Swimmers in Netflix
Yeah.
about the two sisters who fled?
I
I
watched it
think
right before my swim
Oh
practice
yes, I
made me.
did see that one. That,
they were
oh my
seeking
gosh, that
they
was
were seeking asylum in Germany, and then they approached a white trainer in the pool, and they said, "Hey, listen, we can swim back at home." I don't know if they were from Iran or what country they were from, and they actually ended up becoming Olympic swimmers.
Olympic
I don't
swimmers.
Mhm.
I don't know. One of them won an Olympic medal. I don't remember the
I
exact
believe
story,
so.
but it was such a good movie, right?
I
Yeah.
know.
Prisha reminded me of that movie for some reason. Um, okay, Prisha, we ask uh, we ask everybody that comes on um, what their definition of success is, and normally we ask the question whether that's evolved over the last few decades. But in your case, given you're 16,
You are in
we're
your
just going to
second
ask you.
decade.
We're just going to ask you. What do you think about? Do you think about what you've done? Like, is it an accomplishment? What's your definition of success? Where do you want to be in the next decade? Or do you not think of any of that stuff? You're just living day to day. Like, what's going through your mind when I say the word
For
success?
me, I was actually just talking to my mum about this in the car on the way to school. I was telling her how I do all this thing. I swim the channel, I raise money for charity, but I feel like it doesn't, like, I just still feel like I feel normal. And I think that is like the best way it could be, because I feel like when you let an ego get to you, then that's when, like, when you allow your, like, this seems a bit like brutal, but I think for me, when I let myself think I've got what I wanted and I've been successful, then I'll immediately think, okay, that's enough, I want to stop. But for me, success is something that can, like, almost never be accomplished. Like, I don't want to accomplish success so soon. I want it to be something hard and grueling. And yes, I accomplished swimming the channel, and yes, it was successful. But to me, it, like, I don't want it to be successful, because I feel like when I reach that success, I'll just like let it get to my head. So I feel like success is just a word. What are words at this point? I feel like success is a feeling you get, because yeah, I felt happy, but the feeling I feel right now, it just shows me that I can do something so much bigger, and I will do something so much bigger, and I know it, because I feel like it feels like nothing to me. Like right now, I think about swimming the channel, and I'm still like, oh, I did it. Life's normal now. I've gone back to it, which I think is really good, because I want to be down to earth. I want to be that person who does this in their free time, but then still stays on the, like, manages to balance the two things. But I just think I want to wait. Like, I hope success would be at the end of my life, where I can look back and be like, I've experienced a lot of successes in my life. I don't think success is one thing, and I don't think it's one big thing. I think it builds up in stages. Like, being born is a success, I guess.
Sabrina,
I like that.
either we've heard the best response to what success is from the youngest guest we've ever had, or we should stop asking the question, because I agree with her.
I loved her perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
No one said that before. Hold on. I had one question before we get to rapid fire or anything.
No. I want to ask her many more.
Okay. What did you do after you were done with the swim? You get out. What was the day like?
She went to the loo.
The first thing I said, actually, I didn't. I did not. I had my fair share amounts of peeing in the sea. It was actually something that entertained me. Anyways, the first thing I said.
This is a clean podcast, Prisha. This is a clean podcast.
The first thing I said when I got out was, I want to swim a two-way. So I think that was just my adrenaline speaking, but I'm looking back, I still want to do a two-way. But the day was really good. Like, we got on the boat, we all took fat naps. Like, it's a 2-hour like boat ride back to England. It didn't feel like that. Like, the first hour I was speaking to everyone, we took pictures. Then like 10 minutes after, everyone was asleep. I've never slept so cold in my entire life. But I woke up just as we were entering the gates of Dover, and it was like sunny and calm, and there was like, I don't know, the feeling of going back to the gates. I've seen the gates so many times. I've swum past the gates and like going through it, because I remember 2 years ago my coach took me to the spot and he was like, okay, in 2 years this is where you're going to be starting and this is where you're going to be finishing. And I remember eating ice cream there, thinking, oh, that seems like ages away. And then I'm thinking now, I'm done. And then I remember coming back, my mum holding massive posters saying, well done, Prisha, you did it, with like my family. And my brother like got a cake. I don't know where they got a cake from, but then me and my friend Megan and Philippe, who were on the boat with me, we tried to replicate what we did for the relay. So for the relay, we decided to play mermaids in Dover Harbour, but I think we were all a bit tired for that. But like, it was just a really fun moment with all my two closest friends, my family, and my coach. Like, my coach is honestly like family, and like his son Jeremy is like a little brother to me now. So it was honestly like I was spending it with the closest people. And then so my brother can drive now, so we took a drive, and there's this pub like really close to the Dover. It's like a 2-minute walk, and every single channel swimmer signs their name on the pub, like the walls of the pub.
Oh, so, that's cool.
Yeah, I know. So we went down there.
Are you legal to drink in England?
Free pint that day.
No.
Free unlimited alcohol that day. Or free whatever you wanted there.
I got J2O. But I remember writing my name on the door. It was really ugly. I actually wish I could like scribble it out. It was so ugly. But I remember we saw someone's name from like 1932, and it shocked me how like that one pub, that wall holds so many memories of people coming in and going out who had just like made history. And as soon as I entered and was writing my name on the wall, like a bunch of people came up to me and said, like, I'm swimming it this day. I just did it like 2 years ago. How was it? And it was like a community. It was really nice and I found my coach's name, and it was just like, and I saw like people's name I recognized, and I wrote my name like under this guy. He broke the record for the Ocean's 7 swims, and I wrote my name right under his. And then after that, my neighbours came. They drove all the way to Dover just to meet me, and then we had like a nice dinner in this little apartment that we rented out. But it was really nice.
That sounds Sabrina, like a perfect day after.
Sabrina, you will never see my name on that wall.
I'm not surprised.
Who inspires you, Prisha? Who? I mean, I mentioned Phelps earlier, but you know, who Do you look up to,
Motivates you.
and
Um,
hopefully people we know of or recognize?
I, when people ask me, did you watch the Olympics? Who's your favorite Olympian swimmer? I honestly, I know I do watch the Olympics, but I don't, like, there are quite a few people who I respect who are really great swimmers, but I wouldn't say, I feel like my biggest influence has been my coach, because people have these celebrity influences, which I understand, but I feel like I can't ever truly look up to someone without, like, properly knowing them. And my coach, even though he may not be an Olympic swimmer, he's given me, like, he's passed on his information, like, everything. He's introduced me to his whole, like, world. He's introduced me to open water, and it's like, that's like the biggest dream, I could say. That's the biggest thing. I'd rather, I would give any Olympian for my coach. Like, I would rather keep my coach for any Olympian, like, any day. I'd choose my coach over an Olympian any day. I got it. But he was definitely not, like, my biggest influence, because anytime I was struggling, he knew exactly what to say. I trusted, like, he was always there. I just don't have any words to describe how good he was.
Cool.
Awesome. That's awesome. Do you want to do rapid fire?
Sure.
Yeah. So, Prisha, we do a rapid fire. We're going to ask you some questions. Most of them are fun. So just first thing that comes to your head.
All right.
Please don't make
I'll go. Sorry?
Please don't make the maths. My dad made a joke about it. It would be like,
You wouldn't do that to you.
questions.
I'll start what we'd ask any 16-year-old girl. Who's your celebrity crush? Nice and easy one to begin with.
Oh. I don't think I can say this one.
Why?
Oh, wow.
Oh, now I really want to know.
I said celebrity crush. I didn't say your neighbor or Philippe or someone. I said celebrity crush.
The celebrity has a girlfriend, and the celebrity has reached out to me, so I'm not going to say them.
Oh, this got interesting.
Okay.
Think
All right.
Sabrina,
I veto the question.
Sabrina, who has recently had a girlfriend? Anyway, okay, sorry. Sabrina, I thought I'd start with an easy question, but...
No, I'm curious. No.
Veto
we get initials or no?
Okay, I'll change my question. Why don't you like Taylor Swift?
You see, I used to like her, but then her new songs just, like, I think I grew out of it. Sometimes I listen to her 2017 songs, but now I feel like
you don't like the new album.
No, and then Swifties, like, don't get me started on Swifties. It's like, I was doing EPQ in school, and my teacher was like, write a question about Swifties, and someone mentioned why Swifties are a cult, and I completely agree with them.
My daughter's in the cult. She legitimately is in the cult and talks about her all the time.
If I go in public, I'll be able to point out who's a Swiftie. Like, there's just something about them.
There's a look.
Good thing many of them can't vote, right? Because of their age. Okay, so Sabrina, so I think that was the first question. Your turn.
Okay. What is your go-to snack during long swims?
Milky Way bars.
Oh.
That's the dairy milk one? Cadbury's?
You know the chocolate ones with, like, the white, the white gooey insides?
It has, like, nutmeg, right? Is it?
I think so. I don't like it. I would never have it if I'm not swimming. I hate it when I'm not swimming, but for some reason I love it when I am swimming. So.
All right.
Okay. If you had to tattoo some brands in your body, in your left arm and right arm, and those brands that you tattooed, you had that product or service for life, free, what would those two brands be?
Dry Robe. I love Dry Robe. I love Dry Robe.
I love Dry Robe.
It's like that. You know those. So if you look on my Instagram, I'm wearing these, like, thick furry jackets.
Okay, yeah.
I live in them. They are so comfortable and they keep me so warm. But I literally live in them. And
it's called Dry Robe?
Yeah, Dry Robe.
Oh, you should reach out to them. You'll probably be a celebrity influencer for them.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I said two. I said two brands.
Okay.
Oh. Probably the North Face. I love the
North
North Face.
Face.
I like myself the North Face.
Do you have a go-to song that pumps you up before a swim?
Oh my gosh. Okay, have you heard of Gunna?
No.
He's a rapper. Recently, I've discovered his song. His song "Still Prevail," or then this is like kind of a pop song, but it's called "Shameless." It's like a really upbeat song. And then another one I don't think I should say because it's censored.
Is it Still Prevail or is it Shameless? I didn't get the name. Which song was it?
It's both. "Shameless" by Camila Cabello, and then "Still Prevail" by Gunna.
Okay.
And then the other one's got a swear word in the name, so.
I mean, if you're fine saying it, this is fine.
It's called "Fucking Problems." That
sounds like it would pump me up.
It's just like it's just really loud.
That's awesome.
Okay. My turn, right, Sabrina?
Yes.
What are you right now? What's your Netflix binge show right now, or what are you obsessed with? Which show
Friends.
did you?
Friends. I watched. I'm trying to memorize it. That's my goal. That's my goal. Like since the channel swims over, it's to memorize Friends, obviously.
So
it's a fun show.
They show it here all day, and this morning I turned on the TV, and it was the episode where Ross is marrying Emily, and he says, "I take Rachel," and I just sat there for 30 minutes because I was like, "This is such a great episode."
When I tell you, the first time I watched that, I was shocked.
Yeah,
I just finished that episode as well.
Such a great.
I know.
Okay, let's see. What is the next? Well, do you have a bucket list? Do you have a list of things you want to do?
I tried making one, but I got bored.
Where do you want to go to university? Let's start there. Do you want to do it in London, or do you want to get out of UK?
Getting out of the UK was a thought. Like I'd really love to go. Like I used to have, like I really wanted to go to a university in America. But as I grew up, I feel you need like the top of the top grades to achieve that. So the dream kind of faded away. But if I could
learn to swim, right?
I know. Yeah, I was thinking about that because
you
like
can get a swimming scholarship, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. If I had the chance to, I would like 100% take that chance because going to America is my dream.
But you'll end up talking like Sabrina. So
that's okay. We'd love to have you.
I like the accent. I like the accent.
Yeah, but all your friends will be Swifties.
Not true. Kendrick Lamar is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show. So
wait, what about 21 Savage? Do you like that over there?
Yeah,
I love. Oh my gosh! When I tell you, he has my heart. I went and saw him live. I saw him live. I started to cry.
I tell you what, America has concerts every single day, right? So she gets to see all the performing artists. In the UK,
over here we have them like once a year, and I missed Coldplay tickets. I missed them. I was so upset. They're from like next year.
I haven't seen them yet. I'd love to see Coldplay.
They're on my bucket list.
I did go see Taylor Swift, and I have to tell you, it was pretty phenomenal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, while he's talking, I'm gonna. Go ahead.
Oh, she's so cute. It's
okay.
He's so cute.
And that's got them. I don't know where the third one is. Aman, you want to swim? Aman, you want to swim?
It's 4:30.
Yeah, I'm finishing.
The TV's not working.
Okay, I'm wrapping up. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Prisha.
You want to swim? You want to go swim?
Okay, Prisha, I have one last question. Do you have any...
Start training for the channel.
What's that?
His son's... It's the right time to start training for the channel.
I know. It's true. So I have one last question. Do you have any quirky pre-swim rituals or habits?
This is really weird. Yeah, I was talking about this with my family ages ago. It is, so you know how it's far away, so we always have to book a hotel room or somewhere. I have to wake up, like, it's not usually, but I have to shower in the place we're staying. I have to. Like, it doesn't, usually it has to be either in the night or wake up early before my swim, but I have to shower in the place I'm staying. And the one time I didn't, I had a really, like, I literally wanted to, like, die.
Really?
It was,
You
and,
just
and
threw
at,
you
like,
off.
and at swimming competitions, I have to have a hairband on one of my wrists. So, like, I've got two, but at, like, indoor swimming competitions, I have to have a hairband on one wrist. But it's mainly the shower thing. Like, it's a must.
That's interesting. It's interesting how athletes just have their own thing, right?
I know. My mum told, she used to be an athlete. She had like a Lucky shirt, and she was wearing the same shirt for like years. So it got really small for her, but it was her Lucky shirt. So then
What
that's
was her, what did she do?
she used to do long jump and judo.
Wow, very cool.
And she can't swim.
Interesting.
No. she
Oh my gosh, you're adorable. If you come to the
Thank
US,
you,
you
Sabrina.
have to call me. You
We
have
came
to.
to New York. Wait, we came to New York last December. Where are you?
I'm in Texas, in San Antonio,
Oh.
Texas. Yeah. But I'll meet you in New York. Meet
I've
you and
always
your
wanted to
family
go to an American high school. They seem so fun.
there.
Like pep rallies and cheerleaders.
We have pep rallies and homecoming and all that stuff, but it's not like
And
the
guns
movies.
and gun violence.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
And Trump.
that's the one thing like weird.
yeah, that's the one thing we don't like.
Prisha, thank you for your time. I think you're incredible. I really do.
Prisha, you are truly inspirational. I'm just in awe of you, and I'm so happy to hear your story. And I really can't wait to see what you do next, because I mean, if this was one challenge and you're ready for the next, I mean, the sky's the limit. So I really look forward to seeing what you do next in your life. So thank you for being with us. It was
Thank you.
great to talk to you.
You too.
Thank you, everyone. This has been an amazing episode of Indian Explorers. I absolutely loved it, and we hope you did too. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.